Yalla, bum, stickity, bum, stickity, bum, stickity, bum. I got the rope-a-dope, the tic-tac-toe. You got the oopsie crazy. Now you want the lazy. Sun will be rocking until tomorrow, infidels. And we'll be rocking it here today. Back at the Bin Hamin YouTube channel. Demonetized. 3 for 3. No partners here, but twitch.tv/Hamin Media. You can subscribe right now using your Amazon Prime. Bid it up if you want to, but wherever you're joining us, it's the Friday Veteran Locker Room Hamin Media Group. Big Stevie, cool hacker Hamin, ready to come out to your indie scene this weekend, infidels. Yalla! Back on the road again. Yeah, this weekend. Fortunately, Saturday I only got to go about 4 or 5 blocks to the YMCA and kick some ass over there with just incredible GGP, referee Sideburns, and a whole cast of others at Immortal Championship Wrestling. And Big Steve Areno's coming to your town. Stevie, who are you kicking the shit out of this weekend? Good morning, by the way.
Good morning. We say in the morning because it seems like all our shows are turning into the No Agenda podcast with Adam Curry and John C. Dvorak, which I also recommend everybody listen to. They have to go twice a week, and it's the format that we hope to one day aspire to be. They have a great way of formatting the actual show to deconstruct mainstream media. I will be in Wildcat Sports, although they just put the mask mandate down in the New Orleans area or Louisiana. It doesn't matter. We had the fans have to wear a mask. I don't know if we have to wear a mask in the ring. I don't know what's going on in these. I think there's certain times now. We call them uncertain in 2000. I think we're pretty certain what's going to happen. We're kind of holding our breath to see if the show will indeed be canceled. My guess is no. They'll give this like a dry run to see how it goes, and then the second show is what Luke and them are probably more worried about. But I'm hoping it goes off. I'm wrestling a young kid named Jet Danger, which, I don't like wrestling people that are dangerous, but it's just dangerous. So, yeah. And then I might have something else going on throughout the show that's a little bit of a surprise.
Oh, awesome, man. And where is that Wildcat show going to be at?
In Louisiana. I can never pronounce it. Metairie, I think. Okay. Just outside New Orleans. Of course, I got a flight in, and then the 5:30 a.m. flight the next morning, just to get out as soon as possible. Nice. No offense to anybody in Louisiana. I just got to be home. My cats. Dude, I'm telling you, and people can say whatever they want, but like wearing those masks in an Atlanta airport with 10 to 15,000 people last Friday at minimum throughout the airport. I felt such, and you've probably been around that too, in these circles where everybody's masked up and a little bit paranoid. It almost felt like something really bad was going to happen. Like there was so much tension in that airport. Nobody looking at each other, nobody talking to each other. People are bumping in, trying to cut in front. And I'm like, oh, I can feel it because you could see somebody getting pissed because somebody butted in front of them in the security line, then didn't say, excuse me, didn't even look at them. It's just all these social cues that are gone now. That's becoming like, it's starting that boiling point. I could have felt it. Then I went to a place that was a completely rural place where I did the signing. You wouldn't even know any of this shit is going on.
No pressure, right? And what they want to do in the hot spots of Chicago, Israel already talking third mandatory booster and all this. And, obviously California, the madness that they can do in these micro demographic, not even micro, macro, I guess, cities where they're just in total power of being able to use fear mongering to do what they want to do to control people that live in the rat race. See, the chat room's filled up 17 strong this morning. Society Reviews, Classified Chappie, Frank's in the house. Emily Zozo missed us. We missed you too, Emily. I'm not sure where you have or haven't seen us. How many media groups are back up YouTube? But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Mike Martin. I saw somebody said that, who said that Master Shoot Theater is hate speech? That pops me. It's hate speech for my hatred of having to watch 14
YouTube
hours.
Did or a viewer?
I think a reviewer, he said, I'm just trying to, Thomas Walk said Master Shoot Theater. I don't know who the fuck that is to start with, so it means so little to me. But no, satire and improvisation is not hate speech. It's satire, and that's exactly what Master Shoot is. And you can check out the awesome animated Mandir Master Shoot Theaters on Russo TWC Patreon and Hamin Media Group Patreon. Put the new ones up there. Just one of the few things that makes me laugh, especially about myself these days. But to see him bring those improvisations to life is just a great piece of art, and hopefully we can get more eyes on expansion on it. So if those teasers are out there on Hamin Media Group, YouTube, and on Russo Brand, please feel free to share those teasers. Good time. It makes people go, "What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this, pal?"
I'm pretty fascinated and interested as to, like, you study this psychology stuff of these types of people more than I do. What makes a person, do you think it's just a bully tactic to make it stop? They feel like if they throw that particular trigger word out, that everybody's going to freeze and say, we need to rethink this because one person has an opinion, just like we have an opinion or a viewpoint, or the satire of two guys actually working for the company and one working within the system of the insanity.
Mhm.
And all three have an experience that they're making fun of what they know, but someone who's never been there is saying, I know what this is. So
Yeah,
fascinating, isn't it?
yeah.
That's my
Well,
new word for fucked up. I use fascinating.
they can spin their little bullshit any way they want. That the Linda jokes are misogyny, or that I guess
Let me tell you something about Vince.
Vince's age. We could call ageism, or ripping on Candace Mobley as racist. Maybe he's right. You know what? It is hate speech. It's hate against every stupid stereotype there is, and I get back at it by improvising in the moment and shining a light on the ridiculousness of it. The hate is for the society confine that we've developed in this ridiculous ass upside down world. So thanks for watching. If they hate it so much, all they got to do, it's behind a paywall. Don't pay for it.
That's the biggest head scratcher to me about anything. Like, if it exists behind a paywall, I know they've probably done it with Crowder, with Ben Shapiro, you see a pattern here, by the way, with the people that they're trying to do this to. I don't understand, if it's behind a paywall, how is it hurting you?
They don't
How
even
is it hurting you? And
this.
you vote with your pocketbook and your wallet, and you say, I'm not buying this. And what's the extra step of your life where you're wasting it trying to just destroy something that people who, I don't know, that's like saying, hey, I don't like fast food. I know if I eat fast food, it's going to make me gain weight. I just lost a bunch
Right.
of weight, but I know if I pass by a McDonald's or a Burger King or a KFC or any of these fast food places or even buffets, which I love sushi buffets and stuff like that, it's going to make me gain weight. So I have a choice. Either I know if I don't go in there, I'm going to be healthier and I don't need to spend my money in there. Or I try to put every one of them out of business because it will affect my weight if I go in there.
That's
So
what
it
that's
can't be
the
open.
difference, right? You just because it would affect your weight, that they're not allowed to be open anymore. The conversation must change to shut them down, not because you have no self-control or interest in them. It's they shouldn't even be able to exist to tempt you with an alternative or different thought as it relates to this, or to laugh. And that's the other thing. It's all comedy. It's all satire to laugh at ourselves and to laugh at this stupid ass business that doesn't provide laughs when it should be. So, and truth and comedy is what
Well,
I
there
do.
was a legal precedent, and I know exactly what it is because the BWO was a parody of the NWO. Therefore, WCW couldn't sue ECW. I don't know if that law is still in effect today, or if laws or in general is still in effect today, but that's how ECW avoided trademark the lawsuit. And I'm continuing to be able to profit off that. So thank you very much, Law.
Thank you, Law.
The old, the old overlaw, not the new overlaw. So.
But none of that even shakes me a little bit, because all I'll do is take that hatred and vitriol from them, inject it with cancer, and bring it right into Master Shoot Theater and bust balls. And then their own ego that wanted to cancel and shut things down will turn to, they recognize me and I'm a little pseudo celebrity and somebody saw my name. They will subscribe for their own little id burst of dopamine. So how strong was their argument to begin with? Not very at all. So that's fine. You want to come after the biggest heel in the fucking biz? Step to me, dog.
Okay, here, that's the bad cop. Here comes the good cop here.
Yeah.
This is an excellent opportunity for everybody. And I know the supposed other side, because that's where we're being tribal and picking sides. We're not picking sides. Russo, who had the inspiration to say, who knows from podcast one, and one person emailed podcast one and got him kicked off podcast one. One person. And a lot of people were upset, but it was the best thing that ever happened to Vince. What Vince is trying to do is have an open discussion, an open forum. And we've even talked about a specific show between people within the brand and the Realm Network who disagree. As an example, that we can have a debate and we can talk and we can respectfully, that's the word, respectfully disagree and just end up respecting or loving each other after it's all over.
Absolutely.
And that may become a show, a roundtable show of different things that we need to set an example. But Vince, as he said to people who disagree with the moves he's made recently to add shows, he would like you to have a show as well. If you qualify, you have a good mic, you have a format, you're professional. You have to. And once again, if that's some sort of ism or whatever, to actually have a good show with good audio and video, then yes, we are discriminating. You have to actually bring value to a paid platform. But he's reaching out to just as many people on that other side as he is, if not more, because he wants every voice from every community, from every viewpoint and perspective to be heard. He wants everybody represented. Unfortunately, one side says, okay, well, I am plenty of people on the brand, and I saw it in your group, said, okay, I mean, I don't like this guy and I don't like this guy. I don't agree with what these two guys said who he's bringing on, but I like Raw SmackDown Review. I like Lions, Tigers, Bears, and Disco. I like Castrating and Marks. That's enough for me to subscribe right there, and I'll just won't listen to the other shows. Isn't
that's the choice that you have? Again, the choice is yours. And these shows are going to be not even on Russo's brand. This is Realm, a whole nother Voices of Freedom, Freedom Watchers, whatever we're going to call it. And if you don't want to subscribe, then I'm not going to fucking make you, but maybe you do want to, because Conspiracy Horseman will be there and other things. So it's just throwing a temper tantrum to fucking do it. And then when they're offered the option to come and sit at the round table and voice their opinion and be heard, oh, they back right up. Well, then how real were your convictions to try and cancel from the jump? You act like this one thing because you got the spotlight on you, then you're offered the opportunity to voice a counter opinion that's probably educated and that you stand behind. But what do? Cower back in fear and not step up to be like, yeah, I do have something to say. And I think it's an important that the people I represent in this mindset are heard. I'm saying all for it. I'm not trying to, those who want equality and inclusion the most and that claim anti-fascism because conservative minds get together and that's just an easy red herring to throw out there. They are the ones that use fascism to silence others while claiming they want inclusion. Then those of us who are building everything say, okay, we'll include you. No, I wouldn't be on there with them at all. So their cognitive dissonance and idiocy and laziness and lack of conviction is what is holding them back more than their drive for equality that they claim that they want so badly. No, you don't, because everything that you do in a show they do in a show don't tell mode of, yeah, I'm going to produce this. I'm going to get my voice out there to go alongside these other ones. Nah, that's way too much. And I wouldn't put myself out there like that to even be affiliated. Oh, what an easy fucking lay down that is for you. So pretty much everything you said to light the fires and sound the alarm is worthless, and they get exposed as boys who cried wolf, if whatever gender I guess they identify as, crying wolf.
Yeah, be careful.
And they expose themselves, because all we have to do is keep being us. And if you don't like that, well then that's too bad, because I'm too strong of a personality for you to go over on. That's just the way it is.
I think you and I, of course, even with wrestling, something as silly as wrestling, we do consume content from people that feel differently about the
Sure.
current product. Politically, really, you're an atheist. I'm a Christian. We have our debates. Some of the best debates that we ever had that I look fondly back on are popping out of myself on the Christian and faith side, you and Sal on the atheist side, and we go back and some of them lasted over an hour, and at the end we moved on. And those are the most, like, more so than politics, religion and faith, or lack of faith, or whatever stance you take. Those can kill friendships and families and all that stuff, and they have in both ours to some extent as well.
Sure.
So if four stupid, broody caveman pro wrestlers who have CTE can fucking do it, why can't somebody who supposedly has a brain?
I think that's the solution. Give everybody CTE.
They're trying to keep that mask on. It'll come. Hypoxia will set in.
Cut that oxygen off to the brain. You'll stop thinking straight. There's no doubt about it.
Good news, though, that the 127-acre property with the house on it has solar and water is still available in Colorado. And I just found a 160-acre one that's actually more affordable.
This guy's gonna be mowing his ass off out here. He loves them big acres.
That's what goats are for. So when you hear me saying I'm the goat, it means I just bought a bunch of goats.
Good shit, man. Big Evil Pops. Vince isn't caving, is he? Nah, bro. No. Every problem is an opportunity. SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. In every threat, there's an opportunity to create a solution. In every weakness, there's an opportunity to grow stronger and to strengthen up your front lines of where it needs to be in the face of bastardized ignorance. And sometimes it's not shutting them out, it's offering them a platform and giving them the rope to hang themselves, because then we have an open discourse and discussion. I'm sure they'll make points that are valid, and we're more than willing to hear them and learn and change our opinion. Seems those that claim they want the inclusion the most are the most see no evil, hear no evil, and they'll shut themselves right down no matter what. And that's because they've been propagated and mind controlled. At one time, I'm sure their social movement that they wanted to get behind had all the merit in the world. What happens to every social movement? It gets hoarded out and marketed, and then the integrity's gone. And then the original people are left holding the bag full of shit now that everything's been exposed. Doesn't matter if it's Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ, every one of them gets pimped out to the point of new Crayola crayons and Legos to buy the rainbow colored donut to whatever the fuck it is, like that. But people think that, oh, corporations really do care and they're promoting our thing. No, they're just pimping you out. That's it.
Somebody was asking in the chat room, Buckshot Kid asked if I have a new 4K camera. I'm actually using the Elgato Phase Cam because I wanted to simplify my setup. I got a bunch of Elgato products coming today, including a USB microphone that I'm going to test for Drake, actually, because Drake Words is looking for something. I sent him that Wave 3. I think it'll be easy for him to do it. Plus, these, I think, can be plugged into the Xbox Series X for streaming the audio and the video along with the video game. But yeah, I mean, it's I was going to make a point. Oh God, I totally forgot. Oh, wrestling wise, here's another thing. Here's where everything needs a paradigm shift for the positive. And then unfortunately, the paradigm shift over the past year and a half or even longer has gone the other way. The reason why wrestling is in the spot it's in right now is because the same reason wrestling always follows society, or society and culture follow wrestling, one or the other, is because a 75-year-old man and the guy who's been there 4 times in the past 30 years and the other guy who's been there 3 times in the past 20 years aren't sitting there going like we would when we listen to outside ideas and opinions and policies and say, I never thought about it that way. Yeah, that they may have a point. That's exactly what has destroyed wrestling, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The ability to, like, block out other ideas because they aren't your own.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number one thing in wrestling, that everybody in power, everybody in charge, everybody in creative uh, positions. Okay, that's a great idea, but I need to figure out and spend 10 times more energy to figure out if I can get credit for it. If I can't,
There
dead
you
in
go.
the water.
Right. Right. If it doesn't really shine the spotlight on me to go in my little crew, oh, what a good boy, and let's make them the leader. It all goes back to junior high and elementary school mentalities where something did or did not happen to that person and they need to be acknowledged.
You are my tribal chief.
Just some quick questions from the chat about what shows are going where and paywalls and Patreons. I know my Patreon's going to change once we get that HMG stuff set up and the shows go there, and there'll be small clips, 6 to 8 to 10 minutes, kind of like how Cornette is doing to release, but shows will be behind that. And then Patreon's going to be a different experience altogether. I'm sure Master Shoot will stay there, but and hopefully Rip Show. But I want to really be able to focus on the other things I want to do. People are asking me to do Audible books, and we're asking about you doing them too. And some of those, yeah. Me, because I know you can do them in like the $5 tier on Audible, so it's just about reading the books and getting them done and getting them out there.
Well, what books they want read?
I don't give a shit. I'll do 1984. I'll do whatever they, I want to do the books I want to read or that I think are important to put out there. I think that's the place to start. If they want me to read Dr. Seuss, I will, I guess, but there's there's better things to do. Garbex Edge with the bits, appreciate you this morning at twitch.tv/Hamin Media, man, over there. Our own Greg Mosier, but thanks, guys. 44 strong right now, and there's plenty of headlines to get through, and there's plenty of talk to do. Oh, when I was saying Realm, so each product will stand alone, and you can choose if you wanted the Aubrey Huff thing, you can get it like the 4 or 5 shows a month. If you want Horseman, you can do that, but then they're also going to be offered in a 5-show network tier where it'll be all for one price. So. In Val Venus as well. A lot going on, and we're still in the build out phase. So thank you and we're getting people signed and shows developed. So everything is still in a very creative whirlwind of a blender right now before we can eat and drink from it. But just getting the stars aligned to start producing the content that with guests, we wanted Val on Horseman for a while, and we were kind of like, wow, will he do this with Russo? And I think everybody's worn out of being banned individually and dealing with the YouTube machine or the Digital Millennium Copyright Act bullshit and all that stuff. And that's why this is going to be successful, because we all have to come together. That's the only way we're going to do it, is real community strength online, and be that a digital community, or this weekend I get to hang out with Just Incredible and GGP. So I'm pumped about it, man. Val is insane. Well, there's a lot of insane people in this world. Why not give them a voice? Oh,
I don't know if you knew this, but just about everybody, including us and Russo, are crazy from the wrestling business.
Yeah. Welcome to it. Oh man, you ready to rock these headlines, Stevie? Anything else?
Absolutely not, but I guess we have to. They're mandatory. They just got federal. I heard that on the plane. It's a federal mandate.
Mandatory dirt sheets, everybody. That's what you're going to be reading. That'll keep you locked, break your spirits quicker than anything. I think we'll be ahead of the game because we're used to it. Oh man, but yeah, last night I saw, this is for close to me, because not only am I working on Saturday, supposedly I'm booked with Blaze Haram in Messina, New York on Sunday. New Breed Entertainment. However, yesterday Deonna Purrazzo pulls out and says, I warn every wrestler dealing with this promoter to be wary or whatever. I don't know if he didn't pay her deposit or whatever it was and lied to her and got caught, or I don't know the inside scoop. I sent old boy a message saying, hey, are we on for Sunday? But she buried New Breed and went to the sheets, and I get hit up by half of the people on the card. I'm not trying to Horowitz myself here, but when it comes to Immortal or 2CW, these guys, know me and trust me, and they know based on the cloud of working with you and Russo and whatnot that I'm going to try and make the best show, not just be there for myself. In fact, I don't even know what I'm doing on Saturday. I'm been booking everybody else's shit, and I'm fine with that. I love it. It's one of the things I do better than Bump, that's for sure. But I didn't know a response back yet from that promoter via chat, so I'm going to send an email just to see if I'm wasting my Sunday driving 2.5 hours in the North Country with sideburns. But once
that's this Sunday after the Immortal show, right?
Right. And the next day, August 1st, up in Messina, New York, possibly. But her putting that statement out is how the boys and girls take care of each other, to be like, hey, shitbag promoter over here, da 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 da. And now his show's got light on it, but in a bad way. But dude, I got hit up by half of the roster that are on the Immortal show because of this New Breed show. Like, dude, you think Sunday's going down? What do you think? That I go, hey man, if you feel that way, hit old boy up and tell him when we get there, we want envelopes. I'm not waiting till the end of the show to get fucked over. Otherwise, I'm going to follow you home and burn your house down. Yeah, one of those two. Like, I was like, you just got to be up front. And God love a lot of these indie guys that are getting AEW shots. They just still don't know how to be straight up and honest. And after something like this, where a Deanna puts it out, and I guess a lot of Impact people were talking about, like, should I deal with this guy? Because he's way overbooked. Carlito, Chris Masters, like so we'll see if it goes down or if it's going to be a complete Carney story for the Monday locker room. But welcome to professional wrestling. This is what we get to fucking deal with, especially, and it sucks on my level because I'm not the top envelope earners there, but at the same time, those who are have the power to ruin a fed like that in one dirt sheet post, and we'll see how well it goes, man, or if it goes down at all on Sunday. I mean, I want to work, obviously, and make money, but at the same time, I don't want to deal with any of that fucking bullshit and hype. But if big names are pulling out and he needs it, then that means I'm going to ask him for more money afterwards when he puts me in the main event to save the show. So for me, I just sit in the cut and wait to see what the fuck's going to happen, man. If I got to break somebody's arm, so be it.
So what are we looking at here? I'm as with anything with wrestling, I'm very confused and it doesn't make sense. What are we looking at? What did the guy do? What the promotion do or not do? What is going on with this? And this is where she just needs to come out and just say it.
Right.
Like, don't do it because of this. I'm not saying she's at fault, but it's that cryptic, like, sick of this. And you're like, well, what's up? Come on. Like,
yeah. Did he just pay your deposit? Did he put you on the poster and you're not coming? Is the flight still not booked? Like, what's the deal? Like, but Deanna Purrazzo's a Damian Adams guy who I came up with at OVW and have a ton of respect for him. And he's training a lot of these girls that you're seeing get signed in the last couple of years. That's his specialty, is recruiting hot girls and turning them into competent Rip Rogers style wrestlers. And that's why Deanna got over so young and got so much and has risen to such great, notoriety, I think, so far because she knows she went around and did the indie circuit how she could. She was the young thing. She was competent in wrestling because of Rip's style and Damian Adams. But, those types of moves that are like that you just explained, or her leaving NXT for whatever reasons.
Well, I don't even care.
Deanna said that. Better beware, everybody. Their hair's on fire. I'm like, all right, just if you got a problem, hit the promoter up. And then if he doesn't get back to you, now we know something shady. So, there's all these little things that amateur talents get way too bent out of shape about.
Yeah, because now everybody's scrambling, trying to wonder what's going on. There's all sorts of stress. This guy he's ghosted you. So I'm just assuming with common sense that he overbooked the show budget. He's counting on the door. He doesn't have a good pre-sale, and he's going silent until hopefully the money comes through. That's my guess.
Right. So that'll be my next move today, is to hit him with hey, I'm just going to need my envelope up front if you still want me working. So that's that. And if not, then he's the one who's exposed as lackluster promoter. But I'm looking forward to a double shot. Hopefully it goes down, man. And even if the big money names don't come through and there's the tickets sales are the same, believe me, I'm going to have my hand out to ask for more and save the show, because he's probably fucking had a lot of sleepless nights already. So yeah, Allah, that's what we go through just to come to your town to earn less than people who are 15 years younger than me in this biz.
My favorites, I always reiterate my favorite wrestling promoter. I say favorite because I don't have to deal with them anymore and I don't care. My favorite wrestling promoter thing when I would take calls, and I'm not being like a dick or being arrogant, but that's why I pay somebody like Bill Burns or other people to take a percentage, make sure the flights and the deposit and the rental car, because there's something about when the promoter gets to talk to the wrestler, they hit you with every, like, I'm one of the boys and I'm this. And I say these days, when someone says that directly to me in a locker room or something, I'm like, if you're one of the boys, you wouldn't try to fuck me on money. And they like, oh, they don't know what to do. The boys don't fuck it. You know what I mean? Some of them do, but then I love when they put me over for the 5 minutes when I would talking about all the work I did. I'm underappreciated, the whole thing to try to puff me up.
Sure.
You know why they're doing that?
Because they want to short you.
The lower fee quote is about to come.
Yeah.
They think they're relying on me like I'm a mark, and I'm not a mark. Then when they get the price, then it flips to a 180.
Yeah.
Well, dude, you haven't been on TV in 15 years and you never won a match on TV. And then now I'm the worst fucking wrestler in the world. You know what I mean? Or, I'm hard to deal with. That's the Deonna Purrazzo tweet in the promoters thing. He's hard to deal with. Well, let me know how. Oh, he's just hard to deal with. He's just a nightmare.
She even puts over, she puts over, I warn other workers from doing business with this guy. So that's where every worker is like, what's going on? And like, we're not getting paid. Well,
if you don't think you're getting paid by this guy, you should be contacting him like Ben did. And if you really don't think you're getting paid, don't drive 3 hours to the show. If you don't hear from this dude, don't wait to have a conversation where you show up and the building's empty and there's no ring and he just skipped town with all the ticket money. I've seen that happen. I'm not saying this dude's going to do that.
That's what I was thinking too. I go, let's see how long if in match 4. Hey, where do you go? Where did the promoter go?
Donovan Morgan Donovan Morgan in somewhere in the South, maybe Oklahoma or something like that. I love the story of him and a couple other guys kept an eye on him, and the dude tried to leave with the cash box, and they fucking got him and got their money and left
right
after their match. And everybody else, I guess I had that happen in Texas, and I got my money, and then everybody was just standing there till like 2 or 3 in the morning waiting for this guy to scramble around to try to find money.
Oh, dude, that's how it was at Blitz that night when he had to go on mortgage. I felt bad for him almost, because he's not the shady guy. Well, people were like, where's the promoter? Well, he was out at a fast cash mortgage in his house so he could pay off the overbooked show. Oof, that was a tough night. Brandon Doherty's in the house, my man Brando Loco. What's good, man? Posse for life. I'll be at YMCA for Dishonor America Days, Infidels, this weekend. It's the big Honor America Day celebration in Rome, so everyone will have all their patriotic craziness going on. Actually, Friday, too, plan to invade Dippin' Donuts from 5 to 8 p.m. They're having their 20-year anniversary, so I'm going to go over and beat the shit out of Dimitri, and he doesn't know it's coming, so it'll be a good time.
Nice.
VMomo177S27 says, Stevie, you want to become famous? You can buy followers, primes, and views on bigfollows.com.
I've been waiting. Oh, geez.
That got me.
Oh,
that take got me.
Where have you been?
Oh shit, man.
That's like the emails I get at like 3 in the morning. Like, I know you're incredibly busy, but I checked out Stevie Richards' YouTube channel, and I love the content that you have. Stevie Richards. Your video of MacBook Air SD card slot test from 2010 just spoke to me, and I would love to just take a percentage of your money. And I always answer back, is that UBBTV?
There is a new Stevie Richards Tech channel, though.
I don't know if that's going to go.
Okay, we'll see.
No, I did a little unofficial poll with people I know, and there's a few different ways to look at it. If I was just I'm not saying I'm not just a regular YouTuber, but if I do an interval of like once a month or even once every couple of weeks with setup guides and things like that with the products, like the best podcast microphones over $400 or under 100. You see what I mean? Theme stuff where I say, hey, listen, and it's presented in a way that's true. Hey, listen, just to let you know, we're testing these microphones out. The reason why I started getting into podcasting is because I have vocal cord surgery. My vocal cord is paralyzed. This turned out to be physical therapy. So it is kind of in the health, wellness, and fitness. So if you're somebody that's looking to do something like this because you kind of need your voice to strengthen, this is for you. So that's kind of the way I finalized the way I would do it, you know?
Well, I mean, as long as you're producing great content, man, you love tech, and that's all that really matters. You want to
Society Reviews, by the way, I have a compilation clip of me shooting down helicopters with a handgun in GTA 5 that I send them in. I did 3 yesterday. I shot them down.
not believable at all. He's like, hey, look at this 45. Clack, clack, clack. Helicopter drops on the sky. I don't think it works that way. You're a hell of a shot with a pistol shooting at something 400 yards away. That's a hell of a fucking handgun shooter right there. I know I've
been dry firing.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Yeah, but I'm about to dry fire on these fucking headlines. Brutal Bob, here we go. This one's a good one. I will kick off with something positive, some positive talk. And actually, before we even do that, a big shout out to the Hamin Media Group social media team. Kaz doing a great job with the videos. El Plaja, new social media score video up on Hamin Media Group Instagram for a little propaganda. But he clipped our conversation from Friday about Baron Corbin and the great work he's been doing. Or what? No, that might have been from Raw SmackDown review. And put it out there. And Corbin liked it last night. Everyone's watching all the time. Everyone's vanity searching themselves.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
he liked it?
He liked it. So, like to us, I mean, I'm not trying to be like, oh, that don't mean shit to me. I'm over it. It does mean something to us. Absolutely. When we talk positively about somebody who needs a light shined on them for doing the right thing creatively, even though they're surrounded by a sea of morons doing God knows what. But it's also a good win for the guys like when Braun and EC3 and those guys put it out there, because some of our stuff will get 200-300, which we're happy to be in front of those eyes. But I tell those guys, I go, you don't be dismayed by the numbers. Sure, we like to see big numbers. Everybody does, but it's about who's watching and about who's hearing it. And they're always watching. And it's clips like that will help keep a guy motivated, especially he might not give a fuck if it's coming from me, but from a legendary performer like yourself, given that respect, that might have made that guy's whole day. And it makes our team's whole day when a superstar, he's not retweeting it, but just for them to see to like it. For guys who are fans and not in the business, who are working with, the insiders and are in that kind of gray space, that's a big win for them. So thanks to Kaz and thanks to everybody, Rick Vickery behind the scenes, and MSG and everybody, Colin, who are doing those social media posts. And thanks to you guys for sharing them. That might bring more eyes to them. So, and good on Baron Corbin for doing a good job and giving us something positive to talk about, which is a rarity in the last 2 years,
Yeah, absolutely. And then people, hey, liked tweets carry weight in today's society. So for him to like a tweet, that's a pretty big deal if you're looking within the rules of today's social media, right? Because people who like tweets get canceled for liking tweets. So he could take a hell of a chance by liking somebody that's connected to Russo. So that's a very strong gesture by Corbin. Frank asked a question off topic about a dash cam. Just get yourself a GoPro, because then you can use it outside of the car and just connect it to like a cigarette lighter or something like that. If they still have them in cars, do they still have cigarette lighters in cars? It's called an outlet. It's called a power outlet now. And just plug it into there, and you'll be able to use a GoPro for that. So that's the way I would do it. So
do cars come with cigarette lighters like the old school?
They don't call them cigarette lighters. I think they're just in like car outlets now, but they're cigarette lighters, right? They're pretty
Well,
much.
I mean, it just has a flip up for the outlet. There's no old school push the thing in and take it out, and it's red hot and scary where you're fucking like,
Dude, I
oh.
remember my dad in the set. He used to make me do that and push it in while he's driving and light his cigarette. And he had a 73 Chevy Impala. We called it the Green Leaker. Nice. I remember that. The big, had leaded gas and all that shit. I mean, it was fucking out there. Oh man. So yeah, Corbin, I have to say WWE, this is where they go wrong, because obviously they're pushing somebody like Goldberg for the 17th time, because Goldberg's always seemingly overstrong and cannot give a performance outside of what's drawn a lot of money and made him a lot of money. Corbin's doing something that WWE doesn't respect creatively, in my opinion, and that's what we call showing your ass, showing your vulnerability, going to a low point. When they have this weird disconnect that when you go to a low point, they don't see the story arc. They see he's not very good anymore. Look at how depressed he's playing a character on it's supposed to be depressed. It's a weird thing when they start switching in and out of reality at their convenience. Right. This is the best work Corbin's ever done. And I just hope he turns babyface, and I hope they get behind him with it, and people want to see it, like, and then he wins the lottery and turns heel again or something.
If you have tragedy, the opposite side of the yin and yang is redemption and to rise back up. People say wins and losses matter. They absolutely do. Not the wins nearly as much as the losses, because of the loss, you have the emotional connection that is stronger than the quick buzz of, yay, I won. So the downside of the mountain can be far more interesting. And we all love to watch a car crash. And can he get over truth and comedy, real tragedy? I think he can, just even by explaining smashing ravioli cans on the fucking curb. That popped me, bro. And all we needed was a little sauce on his shirt to make it believable. So good. I love that shit, man. Absolutely. I also wanted to put over, I see in the chat room, Ryder174, big help to HMG and Russo brand on Instagram, always putting out our shows as well. So definitely didn't want to leave him out of the highlight of the social media team, and everybody at Russo brand too, whether it's Mitch and Jeff and everybody just really pushing it hard. The guys at Wrestling with Tragedy, Pierce Austin, Rad Rob, everyone's really behind the scenes, you guys. When you see our brands and labels, it's not just me. Believe me, it's not. It's usually me putting the show up and going, hey guys, can you put this on blast? And then here come the colonels and sergeants to be like, we got it, man, let's go. So gaining traction and making an impact in the business, and from people who probably got as bad a taste in their mouth as we do about it from reading these goddamn headlines, getting shitty creative upon shitty creative. You're gonna be the king. But now, fuck being the king. The guy who was once king and is dethroned is a far better story than being some phony Louis the 14th or whatever. But another positive story: Florida Middle School is now named after Titus O'Neil. School in Tampa, Florida is now named after superstar and global ambassador. Hillside Borough County School Board voted unanimously on Tuesday night to add Titus O'Neil's Thaddeus M. Bullard Academy to Sly Middle Magnet School in Tampa, reflecting Titus's contribution to the Hillsborough County public school system and rebranding the work of the school around the creative and immersive mentoring of students. Titus called this his highest and most respected honor that he could ever receive. He said, I was once labeled a bad kid. I was told I'd be dead or in jail by the time I was 16. Titus said in a press release issued by WWE, this is the highest and most respected honor that I could ever receive, considering there was never any expectation of me ever finding much success in my life. Hopefully this will provide to any student who comes to an underserved community that anything is possible if you believe. I mean, congratulations to this guy, a great father. We've seen him highlighted that way. We see him as an ambassador for WWE. And even though he's a blue chip athlete who should probably be facing Bobby Lashley if they would have built him the right way, he has all the potential to be that, whether it's promo, charisma, size, athleticism. But while they honor him for his great humanitarian work and inspiring children all over, the world, don't you dare grab Vince McMahon's arm because your ass is fucking buried when it comes to being on TV and shown in a positive light. So, good on him, man. This guy, everything he's done with WWE as a corporate ambassador is, in my opinion, is setting him up for a huge political run. Positivity and stature wise, he's got all of the alpha male characteristics that could take somebody in 2024 to a very high level. And that's far better than having a wrestling push, I guess, at the end of the day,
I know, but even after 30 years in this business, you have to explain to me why somebody now somebody that looks like me or a smaller guy or somebody that you can always get an excuse that there's somebody that has more of a look, somebody has more of a presence, a better build, a bigger legitimate, more legitimate sports background.
Mm-hmm.
What's the excuse with Titus? You are literally doing it to say, yes, you're a very good person. You're a role model. You're definitely somebody that this company on a public relations scale outside of our TV presentation, we should never let you go because you're an asset to the company. But we don't want to present you as anything else but a fucking goof on TV. We just want to keep playing that you slid under the ring, that you did this, that you grabbed Vince's arms. We suspended you. I'll never understand. I'll never understand because when I see that example, I know, and then the other people who you just continue to support, right or wrong or indifferent, that I obviously give you trouble. What's the disconnect here? Titus is too good for pro wrestling.
Triple DUI, get a belt.
I'm surprised they didn't squash Titus just as a little goof. Like, Titus did. Titus has probably spoken at a lot of groups and conferences to get drunk drivers off the road and other things. That would cause him supposed heat in this company, I guess.
Yeah,
this dude can't support what Jimmy Uso did because this guy has kids. He doesn't want his kids out there.
What if Jimmy Uso kills one of those kids that goes to his school that's named after him? The irony.
Well, the kid, I guess Vince is going to say the kid should have been able to get out of the way.
Yeah, he should.
I mean, fuck. What are we surprised about at this point?
Right, man.
It's 3 weeks. It's 3 weeks old, so everybody is already. The minute they won the tag belts and they got cheered, the people forgot about it.
That's it, bro. Until the next one. But congrats to Titus. Somebody said that he's a PR prop, and he is. But I hope he's a smart enough worker to use all of that to his advantage. You want to use me this way? Well, I'm going to forward my life and my humanitarian efforts that way. He's using them as much for good as much as they do evil against him.
He's not there because he enjoys his job. I mean,
right on, man. But that's a good piece of news. There's nothing bad there, bro. WWE reportedly, actually, I'm gonna fucking save that one. Let's see. Mojo Rawley, you might have heard of him. On scrap plans with Gronk and if he'll return to wrestling. He was lifelong wrestling fan. Let's see.
He was.
Is this just one of these that goes on and on and on and on? It looks like it is. When I started with WWE for my first day, we were all practicing wrestling moves with each other. That was the thing on the weekends. We would go out and I'd take my shirt off and make a whole group of 15 go down the line and chop me as hard as we could to get me prepared for wrestling. Oh my God. This is why I continue to do it on TV so much throughout my career. Every time we get together, we're partying and doing wrestling moves. This is about Gronk. I was at his retirement party. Then coming into WWE, he got the itch. He got the bug. He wanted to get in the ring. He was always talking about doing a match. He wants to do it right. He wants to do the training and be there for months and put in time so he does it the right way, wherever that might be. We're going to do a match at some point, whether it's WWE, AEW, New Japan. Who knows? I guess it's coming at some point. I guess we have to see where we are at that time. Get hyped for Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins in theaters now. I guess he's in the new G.I. Joe. He fits the G.I. Joe profile, I would say, very, very much so. I'm not sure who he's playing, but there's a couple guys I could think of. He could definitely be the snow guy from who ran the Arctic Blizzard, I think the guy's name was. But okay, and then there goes all the headlines. So thank you, Google, for saving us. But yeah, man, Gronk ain't doing shit after winning a Super Bowl last year again to come back to worry about whatever. And those Mark Chop stories are always brutal to me, where people think that's what it is because they're Ric Flair fans from '92 or whatever.
Whew, that's a little rough. That still tells me he's got a little bit of the mark in him. And like I said, he's a nice enough guy, but I see more of a future of him. If he's going to ask Gronk for any kind of favor, it's to get him into the learning tree of the NFL or the football, into football for coaching. And you got a lot more of a future to do that, man. And I'm not saying he wouldn't have a future in wrestling. It's just not up to you. If you're a good coach and you get along, you have good relationships with the players and management and the ownership, you can go as far as you can be a multi-millionaire in no time, or at least get paid and have health benefits. And when you do travel, you don't have to hop into a rental car. You get on a bus, you go on a plane. If wrestlers, if they could figure out a way for wrestlers to fly a plane and pay for the fuel, wrestling would. They wouldn't pay for your ticket, and it's coming out of your pay anyway.
Right.
I think the NFL or football in general, even what a high school coaches make a living, college assistant coaches make a living. Even if you're in the athletic department, you make a living and go to school for free. I don't get it. He played football in Maryland, right? He could easily go back to Maryland, or there's a ton of colleges and high schools in Florida that are football breeding grounds that you can go to for coaches and players.
He's got the clout just to come meet this dude at the NCAA, whatever, a former WWE star. Like, just even that alone, colleges would hire him off of that shit, bro. Big question for you though, Stevie, from your favorite rapper, Wale asks wrestling fans why they can't enjoy both WWE and AEW.
Why can't we hate both?
Why can't we hate them both? Prior to the show, Wale asked fans to guess Tony Khan's advertising announcement, which turned out to be AEW headlining Chicago on August 20th for AEW Rampage First Dance. AEW Rampage First Dance. After getting into a back and forth with fans, while I wondered why fans of WWE and AEW were at constant odds. Why y'all act like you can't watch two brands? Please answer quickly. While I also pointed out how talents from AEW and WWE happen to be friends. Whatever is going on with that, and him trying to be the ambassador between both. I don't know if you're a WWE guy, they don't want you, then you just did business for them. They don't want you saying AEW and talking out like that. But again, he might not care or get it. But why can't
when I was at the Wale concert this past week, I've noticed. Oh, go ahead.
Do you see a lot of wrestling shirts while you were there? A lot of hip hop kids wearing wrestling shirts from the clearance section?
Yeah, they had the SummerSlam up in stock shirts all over the place, all 200,000 of them.
Brutal, man. I'd say it's not the fact of, well, I guess there is. WWE fans look at AEW botches and like, oh, how amateur, how indie. And then AEW fans put the blinders on and go, that's shit over there. This is the new era and the woke culture and and we're going to cheer everything no matter what and just be drones for it, no matter how shitty. But right now, AEW is doing better things, but that's because they're hiring ex-WWE guys, so that makes the AEW fans who are indie darling lovers into hypocrites who now have to cheer for guys who are sucking a paycheck out of Tony Khan, who should be retired. And not to say that I think Christian is shitty by any means, or Matt Hardy, or all these guys, but you brought them in, Mark Henry, El Idolo, Tyler or Aleister Black, FTR, Hager, Jarrett. Like, where are your indie darlings now? And that crowd has to take and eat that spoonful of shit of being like, well, we were all about the Bucks and Janela, and all of them are going away. They're all going, maybe not the Bucks, but all your little indie darlings that were just on Family Feud. No TV time for you.
Well, I'll tell you what, there could be some WWE botches right from that concert because the Bianca Belair, Carmella just going like, now you do a roll up. Now I do a roll up. They're trying to do this. You totally played out like counters of pinfall attempts. You know what I mean?
On
It's
an
like the international at
stage.
the end of the match, you know?
And an elevated stage and the crowd is below you. So no one's watching you from above do that. So they're having to watch a pin drill match from below, which is 0 high spots. And you might not even be able to see if she kicks out based on where your eye level is and shit like that. So completely the wrong booking when if Ford was there and he may be hurt. Ford is a high flyer. That's what's going to get people interested. We did no high flying spots from everybody. And then when they had the chance to do a wardrobe malfunction and have her run out with her hands over her titties, showing, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed, and laugh at her, they didn't even do that. We had to stick to our phony bullshit spot wrestling bullshit. And then none of it got over. And they're going, bring on Bobby Shmurda.
Give me the girl that was doing this to herself. Whatever.
Oh, fucking, it goes in and out, in and out. And dude, it fucking, she's blowing the mic, pretending to shove it in her ass, and then she bends over to show her camel toe while she's got a thong on, and she's, 50 pounds overweight with cakes in the back, and she's just the next Cardi B hoe or Megan Thee Stallion replacement because that's what the Illuminati does. They find whores, they pimp them out, and much like whatever they did with go back to Lady Gaga. I mean, it's the same shit. It's to go back to Madonna. Same shit. Now they're just doing it ghetto-fied. That's just
so you're saying she's not on my elimination diet?
No, she's definitely not on the elimination. Unless you're on a strict chicken and waffles fucking
she's eliminating all healthy food and water, right?
Yeah, because being thick is the way now instead of, don't worry. You keep on those bad eating habits because there's not a high rate of diabetes in the Black community from eating shit food all the time. Don't set a standard for your people of eating healthy and becoming Serena Venus Williams level when they have that ability as stacked Black women to do that. But it's more about shoving a microphone in your crotch and simulating sex for 12-year-olds. Okay. Well, that's where you're going to make your money as opposed to working at fucking Foot Locker, then so be it, I guess. Shove fucking.
That was a Nick Khan special, right?
Yeah. Yes, it was. So Nick Khan probably hooked all that up as gets paid a base salary, but incentivized by doing deals with outside companies. And Rick Vickery had read to me that Vince McMahon versus America, produced by Chris McCumber, former USA president, now with I can't remember the name of the horror
production company.
That's a horror director. Yeah, a horror director who made a lot of money on some of those quick buzz films, and now he's working with them. Nick Khan uses his Rolodex to get that deal done so he can get paid off of that too.
Well, I do give him credit. I mean, he's at least, I looked at that concert thing, and even though the people didn't care, I was like, this could have been a good thing to bring SmackDown to this, like the entire 2-hour show, to this type of thing if they didn't have to pause a concert for 2 hours. But you see what I mean? I didn't mind it. The execution of it looked like there was a match about to start, had a live arena with. Now, if it was the Thunderdome, I definitely think they could have did both at the same time. I feel like still the crowd that paid to see TV and see themselves on TV should feel gypped at 2 matches. And they got like essentially they got the house show concert match. The concert was the TV match.
Right.
That's what returning to Kansas City will be was that where they were at? No,
yes.
It was
Raw. Raw was Kansas City. I can't remember where Cleveland was SmackDown.
Okay, so how do you think these Cleveland fans, or which are diehard fans, are going to feel when you gyp them?
Yeah.
When you gyp them, are they coming back? That's what you have to think about what did you leave them with?
supposedly there was already Hamin Tarp Emporium getting some upper decks done at Raw. So how long until that creeps down even a little bit more?
There's a question about the Jericho match with Nick Gage, which I haven't seen yet. No, I always want to say nobody, but it's non-OD. Did he just create his? Did he do what I did and just like we watched the Forensic Files last night and a mom got caught. She killed her two husbands, and she tried to kill her daughter and framed the daughter for the murder of the two husbands with a suicide note where she mispronounced antifreeze with antifree. And the suicide note kept saying antifree. So they caught her. Plus the turkey baster that she'd shoved down his throat to put the antifree in. I'll say it like that. She threw it away in the kitchen. And the dude died in the bedroom, and she goes, he was locked there for 2 days. Like it's like the world's stupidest criminals.
Awesome criminal.
But I wonder if it like this person who asked a question about Jericho and Gage was doing the antifree thing.
Could be.
It wasn't supposed to be nobody. So what do you think? You're going to do light the fuse, but Jericho wrestled Nick Gage. Or as I love the Shawn Michaels is all elite, but it says Nick Gage is all elite, but it's Shawn when he was bald.
So good.
The internet wins again.
Yeah. I was on with Rad Rob, but I had it on the side, and I'm just watching Jericho do the pizza cutter and Nick Gage trying to get his shit over to the camera, and he's got the rotten tooth and shit like that. And I look at him body wise, and after they tried to make him into such a tough guy on Dark Side of the Ring, and then even with his Chris Van Vliet interview, very interesting guy to listen to. That I'm not going to take that away from him, but this fucking dirtbag persona with zero muscle mass who just walks around with a pizza cutter, do that shit in my hometown. Some high school kids will fuck you up and whoop your ass. Some farm boys will whoop his motherfucking ass in under 2 seconds, bro. So like the believability of it is just, it makes Tony Khan look like a huge mark for Dark Side of the Ring and booking him, putting him in with a WWE guy. He has no business being in the ring with a legend of that level because he's not built to that. And then to lower that guy to have to do this deathmatch shit at his age and do that is disturbing. And then at the end of the day, this is nothing more than a Moxley buddy hire, not earned, not any reason.
Is he hired or is he just coming in for the one match?
I just think the one. There's no draw there. There's really no draw in my opinion. And then like to see it really makes your company where you're hiring stars, global stars, and men that are larger than life, then march out the fucking backyarder with no body who looks like a fucking meth head who also is a felon. So let's reward. Hey, do some crazy wild shit. Rob a bank. Fuck it. We're gonna put you on TV and highlight you.
It's the Titus O'Neil effect. I think you can call it.
Yeah. So that's where we are in all rewarding bad behavior, putting people on TV who have no reason that will draw or bring people in to do it. People will tune that in and to watch Jericho and go, who is the scumbag that he's fighting? And Jericho should be able to beat this guy in under 30 seconds just based on size alone. And is that the face you really want on your company while you're trying to build something? It just really looks like a complete mark out moment, buddy favor to me. Like I say, I was intrigued by the Nick Gage stuff, but this is not a good look, in my opinion, to bring him in to use him that way, even on a one-off.
And somebody said Jericho ended up bleeding his arm in the match with the pizza cutter, which Jericho shouldn't be. I mean, in certain situations, I don't think you should get it. Color doesn't mean anything anymore. Bleeding doesn't mean what it once did. But Jericho is a star. Jericho is a top guy in this company. Mm-hmm. Also, being 50 years old, he has more matches behind him than ahead of him. Is this really the best use of your money investment on a talent that has, I mean, he maybe can go another 5 years, but you see what I'm saying? You need to get quality out of him each and every week. And what Jericho does best and what Jericho's involved in best, especially when it comes to younger talent, is storyline. Guiding a younger talent through a storyline driven angle.
It's totally backwards here.
Now he's working special attraction matches like that are like the cruiserweight matches in WCW. No real story, but let's just put it within these stipulations. That's my impression without watching the match. Just saying, that's like saying Jericho's wrestling Dr. Luther. I'm like, I'm sure Jericho's going to put in 10 or 15 minutes and work hard, but whoa, is that the best use of your time of Jericho's career and what he has left?
It's backwards in the fact that it should be Jericho making MJF jump through the hoops, but Jericho's the baby in this. So even though he's a natural heel, you've got the old guy doing the work when it should be the young guy doing the proving ground stuff, not Jericho having to prove anything. Next week he faces Hoovy. But the biggest thing is that at least they had Aubrey Edwards in there for this death match. She's a true death match professional. Everything was A-okay.
Reliable too.
Yeah, super.
Professional and reliable are two things you need to be. So now, is this the 5 pillars of whatever that he has to go through that I don't understand?
Yep.
So you had a Greek guy there a couple weeks ago, but you couldn't put him in the Greek pillars of whatever. Okay.
We're doing a Greek mythology and we have a Greek god popping on, but we're not going to fucking put that in there. We're just going to do the Odyssey. Okay. Here's an Odyssey. Reginald, you might have heard of him. He names which WWE superstar has been most vital to his career.
So this guy's making the rounds now. They're making this guy. Oh, geez. Can't we just stick to the normal 3 like the Bellas, Cena, and whoever, and just the random generator one? Every others. Go ahead.
Major superstar who's had major influence on Reggie's career is the one and only Ricochet. He describes what made Ricochet such a hero to him in wrestling. Oh, he's motivation and he's a mentor. He's everything to me. Reginald mentioned as he praised Ricochet, he was one of the guys that I gravitated towards when I got here because before I got here, I looked up to him. He was the only one doing all the cool high-flying moves and whatnot. He's been such a huge help, a big mentor, and most vital to my career. This past Monday, spectators were raving over Reginald's entrance for his first title defense against R-Truth. The aerialist flew into the ring with moves no one had seen before. Reginald says it was a joyful moment for him to share that with the live crowd. He also took a second to thank the cameraman for capturing his jaw-dropping entry. Ricochet, he's inspired him, and they're doing good stuff. How come you don't do your matches with a lav body mic on anymore, Steve?
I actually thought about doing that this Saturday. Doing that,
calling your own match.
I'm sure there's master shoot material where Vince is worrying in Gorilla that the headphone mic is going to break and he has to pay for it. Cutbacks, pal. Yeah, I mean, I have no doubt that Ricochet, he's been around a little bit, and obviously the styles match up, but I don't understand, I don't understand these press junkets or these interviews. It's like, and I'm not being self-deprecating. I'm just saying I'm fully aware of how the casual fan or fans in general would view me if they said, oh, Stevie Richards is giving Braun Strowman advice. How many world titles is Stevie? It's a real thing. He was never main event. How can he give Braun Strowman any kind of advice on how to navigate WWE, or how can I understand the way it looks? I'm not a, I don't have blinders on, but everybody who does these press things do have blinders on. And also, I don't know if the office has a hard on and will end up punishing Ricochet. How dare you put Ricochet over as a mentor? He's not presented that way on our TV. These are crazy people, and you just got to be careful that you maybe get paying a compliment to a guy, but you might be burying him at the same time.
Absolutely. At the same, I find that as more of a burial, to be honest with you, because somebody's gonna be like, well, why didn't you like me?
Bernie's got a great point. This is the thing that I hated about TV or the company. He loves how Ricochet bust his ass with matches against Morrison, and they took some crazy bumps.
Jeez.
Has good outing at Money in the Bank. Basically, 3 things that should be like, we should do more with this guy. We got to do more with this guy. And then last couple of weeks, not even on the show.
Nope.
So all your bumps and your hard work and killing your body to try to stay as a staple on the show just burned you out. And they said, we saw it. We got to cool you off a little bit.
Should have taught Reggie how to do a turtle spot on your back, kick your feet in the air and shoot people with
that seems to be a recurring thing.
That's what's going to get you over, pal. Squirt guns, drip drips. You mentioned there were more issues there, but layoffs are happening right now this week with more staff in Stanford as well.
Really?
Yep. So it doesn't say who or what, but
Vince really is going to be doing everything soon.
We cashed in stock. We lay people off. What happens then? Stock price goes up. So they cash it in, going to buy back low, lay off, juke it up, and then we'll hire scabs at a lower price. Is that not the exact model they're doing right now to fucking juke the SEC?
I swear to God, I wouldn't doubt if they're letting people go now. I wouldn't doubt by September, during September to June, it's going to be 75 to 80% interns, college interns.
I wouldn't doubt
free
it.
Work or working for like $10 an hour, no benefits. Yeah. And they're going to use that as a PR thing to say we're cultivating the future by having our WWE internship program. Dude, I just said it. I've been more right than wrong lately, and I don't want to be.
You have been spot on in a lot of things, man. What was the one yesterday that I sent you that you were dead on about?
Cross.
Oh yeah, sure. So here's another one on Cross. That Cross was supposed to actually lose to Jeff Hardy before Jeff Hardy got devocked. Where did that go?
I'm devock negative, by the way. I'm ready to go Saturday.
Nice.
Slightly disappointed, actually. Got up on a plane.
Fandango on why he thinks Karrion Kross lost to Jeff Hardy WWE. I'm just trying to go through all these Nick Hausman notes. Fandango also recalled experience where he lost to Mark Henry in a way that he felt like WWE was trying to test him. He believes a similar situation is happening right now on Raw with Karrion Kross, who lost his first match to Hardy, was set to lose his second before Hardy came down with Devock 91. He said Mark Henry actually told me, he goes, "Don't worry about it, man. It's just a test, And look at Raw last night. They're probably just testing Kross because they want him to be a big star and they want to see how he plays ball, where is this? I remember kind of getting a little bit of an attitude, and that was my younger age. My younger years when I was a little bit of a hothead. So that's one lesson I learned. You can't sell shit backstage, I mean, this is exactly what we've been talking about. Shout out to Fandango for being one of the few that actually is willing to talk openly and gets it of what's going on, because these dirt sheet pundits with their stupid little excuses don't know what it's like to be tested. They don't know what silent heat setup is, and let's do this and sit back and see how he reacts, or what the Stooges will come to do. None of these pundit dirt sheet reporters who've never been in a locker room and really for an extended amount of time know what that shit is about, nor could they identify it. They're still looking at it through the lens of a fanboy, and why these things happen and where could they go with the storyline. Who gives a shit? None of it matters in the storyline. What true trained professionals are seeing are the petty politics and fucking setups to cut people's throats and kill their own investment for no more reason than some weird, sick self-satisfaction of got 'em. And that's insane to anyone who's ever run a business, who's not a billionaire, who cast away human lives for their own fucking fun and enjoyment, man.
It's a lot easier. I think Fandango is speaking from a point of view of trying to put it on him. Hyper accountability almost still has some of that statement is a little bit of still the WWE Stockholm syndrome, in my opinion, because he's saying, I was a little cocky. They've convinced you that you were a little bit cocky. Mm-hmm. Now, if they, instead of testing you and doing this and that and doing the quiet heat or the passive aggressive type of booking, grab him by the arm. Some people are allowed to be grabbed by the arm. They're not Vince, and say, that's not how we do things here. You lose your fucking attitude. We're a team. End of story. And Cross, I'm convinced from what I've heard from Vince and other people, he's the opposite. What happened was, I think, is more true to what you said. He opened his mouth, stood up to these guys in NXT like a man would in the locker room, and said, and if they all stepped to him, he probably would have been like, all right, everybody, let's go. You know what I mean? But they didn't. Instead, they're testing him. Okay. I've said before, and I'll say it again. I know from experience, and you can see from the people, they test Titus O'Neil. They fuck with Titus O'Neil, but then they push and coddle other people that give them the most amount of headaches. They reward the fuck ups, and they test the people that don't need to be tested.
Well, they reward the fuck ups in a test too. I doubt anybody brought Jimmy Uso in and said, you're winning the title tonight. He might have already known in the storyline it was going to happen, but the test was him showing up there, nobody saying shit to him winning the title, waiting to be fucking brought in and yelled at behind closed doors of like, see what we're doing and you can fuck this up. You better not do it. None of that happens. It's to see like, am I going to get called in? I didn't get called in. What the fuck's going on?
Well, here's the other thing too. What you think you're doing by what message are you sending to the locker room when you do that? I mentioned it 10 times before about Jimmy Uso and other people. What message are you sending to a locker room? Why do you think I've heard that the morale is super low there and it's a heavy atmosphere? It's not where people want to be, because when people see that and then they're telling you in talent meetings, we need for everybody to be a good citizen and we need for you to be this and that. And, you're looking 2 rows over and like, look at this fucking guy. You know what I mean? Or these people.
I'll tell you where I saw
it's all rib. It feels like it's a rib.
Because we like Cross a ton, man. And he's very interactive and learn from Rip and Disco and everybody else, that's in our clique. So to one degree of separation, and there's money written all over him. But when I seen him wish Triple H a happy birthday, thank you to the man who lets us live our dreams every week, and and I hope I don't eat my words when he pedigrees me on thumbtacks at SummerSlam one day or WrestleMania.
Weird, man. That was
that's they broke the horse, bro. Like, he was living his gimmick online. There's no reason for that, like, ass polishing on Triple H that if anybody should have to do a Killer Cross, unless the storyline was that Game is taking Cross under his wing to be the next cerebral assassin, but that's not the story. So now this is more just like saving face and being a corporate guy and doing what needs to be done. I just am like, they broke another one, man. They broke him.
That's all right. Maybe this is, I don't know Cross's age, but maybe this is just exposes the youth. Is he a young guy?
I think he's 30s. I think he's a little bit older than the rest of them. That's why Cole and those guys got to go at him.
I think it's his business. And, and people are saying it was a work or whatever it was, that this is part of the storyline. We're just telling you how it sucks. If this is the plan, then you need to fire a few writers. If this was a plan, because guess what you're doing? I don't know if you know this, but most wrestling fans aren't real super deep thinkers, and they want to kind of know what's going on. If you're not covering it in commentary, if it's not within a vignette, if Cross isn't set up to be in this, if you're just telling me this guy's supposed to lose 2, 3, 4, 5 matches in a row, and I'm supposed to understand that this is just the beginning for him, I'm sorry. The Jacksonville Jaguars go 0-5. There's pundits saying it's over for 2021.
Right. And you're going to have them lose again. And it's just straight up tests, like Fandango's talking about. Test. Why? Why is there even one test to do that instead of debuting the right way, vignettes, playing to the strength, getting a payoff off of the investment that you've put in through NXT, developing him to get ready for the main roster. So we have all that. But instead, strip it down and we don't give a shit. And USA, I don't see them fucking going like crazy. They should be pissed that this guy could have brought them money and WWE is fucking with them for no reason. The other thing they should be pissed about over there is WWE NXT scores an all-time low audience on Sci-Fi against the Olympics. So they had to move to the Sci-Fi network, which is tough because USA is covering the Olympics, which is smarter than covering whatever shitty stuff I was watching on NXT this week. Real like amateur hour over there, which it should be. It's developmental. They keep claiming it's a third brand. It's not. It's amateur indie workers barely learning how to do WWE style. And after they do their little NXT happy foot promo and pose down, they think they're over as fuck because somebody pats them on the head. They're not even close to being the level of performers they should be, only to get buried on the main roster. But the NXT drew 520,000 viewers on Sci-Fi. That's down 20.5% from last week's NXT episode, which drew 700,000. Real low in the key demo, 0.12. So which that only represents about 150,000 viewers in 18 to 49. So yeah, you move the show. It's going to be rough, but at the end of the day, the show I watched 40 minutes of didn't even garner 500,000 people to watch it. It was embarrassingly amateur.
I just had a really terrible thought. If they've listened to Fandango's comments, smarten everybody up to how Cross is getting tested, and they keep talking about this girl and how they didn't bring her up, I have a prediction, and I don't want to be right about this, but my track record has been too good lately. I just don't want to say it. Should I say it?
Say it. It's Friday locker room. You got to say it.
Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux will have a couple's ballroom dancing gimmick by the end of the year on Raw.
Based off of Fandango.
You're living all differently. You get it?
Everybody's fucking shit to tell you. Wow. Dancing with the Cross.
He's so wound up and so tight and so unhappy. He just has to let loose. He has to let loose and let it go. And she taught him how to let it go. And there's only one universal language that helps you let go. Dance.
I want to dance. I want to dance.
So how off do you think I am? What's a 1 to 10? How accurate is that?
7 out of 10. I think you're 70% right there. Somebody who's like, if they spend their time testing people and they watch everything and see the sheets, somebody will come up with that. Or they'll watch this and go, Stevie had a great idea.
He hadn't had a good one since he said they should put it on the roof.
You're like that guy is reliable.
Professional.
I want to dance.
Well, we got to remember to tell Rusev that on when we record.
Oh shit, where do I want to go? We got 4 left here. Let's go to Saudi Arabia. WWE reportedly holding Queen of the Ring finals in Saudi Arabia, Stevie. They're gonna hold a Queen of the Ring tournament there.
Wait a minute, you gotta read that again. Are they trying to murder everybody? What?
Well, isn't
oh my god, are you fucking, is that real?
Yeah, WWE.
That's not kayfabe news, is it?
No.
Holy shit, they're putting here. Hey, you don't want 2 women competing. Here's 12. Holy shit. That got me.
To show how progressive they are or whatever. It was exclusively reported by Wrestle Stink last week that WWE plans for the all-women's Queen of the Ring tournament to be held this year. It was then revealed this week that the tournament will begin on October 8th, SmackDown, and October 11th, Raw. A separate note, the WWE is set to return to Saudi Arabia on Thursday, October 21st. In an update, word is now that the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament are set to take place in Saudi Arabia. There's no word yet on whether what the name of the next Saudi show will be, but this new report is in line with the original Queen of the Ring report, stating that some of the tournament will air on The Cock on WWE Network. WWE holding finals in an all-women's tournament in the Kingdom is a major deal due to local laws. Female superstars were unable to travel with the company to the Kingdom to perform on earlier events. WWE aired a promo that featured superstars of the Greatest Royal Rumble 2018, yada, yada, yada. Due to policies, they were forced to wear both T-shirts and full body suits instead of their normal in-ring gear, but WWE celebrated a history-making moment along the way. So is that going to be the case again in your women's queen of the ring tournament? They're going to have to be subverted sexually to show that men will still be dominant and religion will be dominant over them, while trying to propose that Saudi is forward thinking by allowing this. They think it's going to do a PR thing one way, but really it's doing the exact opposite of that. But they'll lord them over as this is a new day in Saudi history and da 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 da. But really, we're still holding women back to 50% because of these Islamophobic inaccuracies and bullshit, dude. So they'll do it with a
question instead of having the stage that has the throne and the scepter and the crown, they have a guillotine.
Yeah. That's for the losers. You really want to win this. You're gonna get fucking. If you don't win Queen of the Ring, you don't want to be second runner up. I'll tell you that much right now, because you'll be the head on the table, the tribal chief.
Wow. What do you do, man? What do you do? What do you do there? If you're a girl, you wouldn't even want to go over there no matter what. And what are they going to pay? What if they pay the girls no different than what they're getting paid over here, but you have a chance to be queen of the ring? Whew.
Yeah.
I'm nervous enough being a guy if I had to wrestle over there. Now you got a bunch of women. They're going to be cordoned off. They're going to be separated from everybody. It's going to be, hell, you're from there. How's that work?
Works fine for me. They're covered up and they do what I tell them to. And as long as Lacey Evans isn't there, I guess that's what matters. Yeah, dude, this is.
Have you ever seen any of the queens or princesses of the Saudi Arabian royal family? I've never seen one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because I've researched them, as far as that.
What I mean is on camera next to the king or the princes or.
In WWE, probably not, but this is because of just my own research. It's not like they're highlighted that way, but there are, and some of them don't have to wear any head gimmicks or anything like that. They're very royal and they seem like I'm above what the commoners have to do religion wise. Sure, I'll wear a little bit.
There's even a double standard in that way too. Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Because all religion is hypocritical. Ariya Daivari was told that his infamous WWE heel promo was requested from the Saudi prince. Former WWE star was on WrestleStink, and he brought up the heel promo that he cut in Saudi Arabia with his brother Sean, where they waved the Iranian flag, and he revealed whose idea the segment was. From what I was told, that was requested from the Saudi prince. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. He booked the show. At the end of the day, it was his idea. And for me, particularly being fairly new at the time, you're not going to say no to that stuff. All this Saudi stuff was a big deal. It was a big money deal. Backstage, they made it seem how important these Saudi shows are to the company. They're doing the very first one in a cruiserweight. I'm not going to be like, no, I'm not doing that type of thing. You just have to do what you're told. Or at least that's how I felt about it. And the only reason my brother came in, some people may not know this, but my neck was injured at the time. I was completely on the injured list. And they called me one day and said, hey, can we get your brother's info? Because we'll just send him to go do this thing. And this was a situation where I was kind of like, oh, damn, maybe we can do something together. And I told them, hey, if you guys would let me, I'll still go too, injured or not. Maybe me and my brother can do it together. And they were all about it. That was the reason why. If you ever go back and watch it, he took all the bumps. I just got pushed onto my ass and rolled out of the ring. And then he took all the bumps because I wasn't cleared to take any bumps at that point. So that's why they brought my brother along too. Looking back on it in hindsight 2020, I wish we didn't do it. And you never want to disrespect people. And it's not like people in the U.S. were upset about it, but people in Iran, people in Saudi, they didn't like it. And I said, my goal was never to offend anybody. You never want to do that with wrestling. You never want to do that with wrestling. You never want to offend anybody with wrestling. What the fuck? I really care about wrestling. I really care about, I'm done with this fucking statement already.
I know somebody that could probably apologize in Mandarin for you if you feel that strongly about it.
Go.
Also, dude, that's the ultimate rib.
Let me finish this real quick because
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't want to offend anybody or stuff like that. That's why I took it upon myself to put out that apology. Nobody told me to do it. The company didn't ask me and all that stuff. I was going to do it myself. I want to make this right. If it truly offended people and they're not understanding that this is just a show, then I'll say I'm sorry. It wasn't really a big deal to me to apologize for it, dude. Because if you don't know, Saudi Arabia hates Iran, and they've been embroiled in a Cold War for decades. And obviously America backs Saudi Arabia and has Iran as an enemy of the state. So, and if Bin Salman's booking this and he wants the Iranians on there to do the heel shit, brother, I got to cut the promo for Bin Salman just to put myself on his radar, and I'll be his fucking heater and hitter, bro, off of that alone. If Bin Salman booked that and he wants to fucking hammer on Iran for that, then let the Saudi prince come over and get you all the heat you want, and you won't have me apologizing for fuck all at the end of the day, going, wrestling's not to offend people. My entire id of Bin Hamin is to be offensive, and I'll even rib on 9/11 and get the Saudi family over, and people will take it.
That's
with
coming up soon.
Yeah,
that show is coming up soon.
Oh, unbelievable, bro.
Well, here's the deal. I think I'd have to say the Saudi prince. This is a Saudi level Khashoggi rib because they're like, yeah, go out there and wave the flag. And this, hey, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Yeah. Get the people in the front row have their guns and knives. Oh, let's see if he does. Dude, it could have went bad, real quick. And they would have been like, two wrestlers got killed in the ring by the crowd. They rushed the ring, and the prince thinks it's funny. Like, we're looking at it like this is a major international incident. He's like, it's 2 American lives. Who gives a fuck?
I would have gone out and beat the fuck out of both of them, bro, and left them laying and Saudi family up strong, dude.
There could be an opportunity. Is that kid still working for the?
I got to be on the top 20 plane ride out, though. I can't get fucking.
Is that kid still with the company?
No.
Oh. Then he's probably apologizing because he's not under the protection anymore. He's probably making sure, hey, just wanted to let you guys know.
Hey,
and then he's like, they're Farsi, that's Iranian, right? Him and Sean.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I saw Daivari on the MLW Battle Riot thing because Meanie was on it. I watched the Battle Royal, and I saw Daivari, and I was like, so as you age and you have less money, you get bigger, and you get all right, I'm just checking. You get more vascular, your waist gets smaller. Must be an elimination diet he has earned in addition.
Oh, it's an addition diet, yeah, for sure.
Dude, he looks like a walking heart attack.
All liquids.
Good Lord. I don't give a fuck. I mean, these guys, I'm tired of like making pretend like, I don't
No, it's all liquids, but they just end in OL, win straw.
You know what I mean? Like we're supposed to be stupid about this shit.
I'm supposed to not kayfabe, brother. Don't stooge me off. Oh, okay, sure. Your giant Cro-Magnon forehead stooged you off, and growth belly. And the fact that you put on 70 pounds of muscle in 2 months, that stooged you off. But heat's on me. Heat's on me, you guys.
Yeah, but I wasn't WWE champion as Frank says, so I don't have sorry about that.
True. That's true, but you are reliable and professional. Saudi Arabia holding Queen of the Ring.
I think
that popped the shit out of me.
Just that when you think you've heard and seen it all. Thank you for that, WWE. I'm serious. That should be the show right there.
Oh shit. Left Twix or right Twix, Stevie?
Let's go right. Even though being right actually gets us in trouble these days. They think we're right instead of left.
Cash Wheeler injury update after AEW Dynamite as reported last night. Pinnacle member Cash Wheeler's injured arm during the tag team match in FTR was Santana Ortiz. Dude, Santana is fucking jacked right now. Too super lean, definitely in that B12 water. In an update, PW Insider via I don't know who Mike Johnson's paying over there. Somebody reports that Wheeler suffered a really bad cut to his arm and was immediately treated by AEW medical staff. The report added that Wheeler was said to be okay in the back, and there's no word if he'll miss any action at this point. Wheeler's injury was a completely freak thing, and he was shoved off the ropes, and his arm connected with the metal between the ring post and turnbuckle. An incident occurred when FTR was attempting a superplex splash combination. Wheeler attempting splash. Santana broke it up. The spot by sending Wheeler off the top rope to the floor. The match was ended abruptly after a few minutes after Wheeler's partner, Dax Harwood, got the pin on Ortiz following a brainbuster. But from what I had heard online, that it was pretty much to the artery and massive blood loss, like very dangerous, just a cut from the turnbuckle, man. So a nasty just happening there, you know.
Good Lord.
Yeah, but yeah, shitty.
But can I say something about not?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go first.
I would say as much color as they got in the main event with Jericho and Gage, this was unplanned, but it was a bloody night over there, man. And people just aren't working safe and doing things that don't need to be done and getting color happenstance or for reasons that aren't really going to draw anybody or pay anything off.
Well, that was my point, that this is a weekly occurrence on every show. Like, what happened to doing weekly TV shows where you're trying to build a story, you're trying to build, like, that spot that you're talking about where it happened, how necessary was even that spot within that match, knowing you're going to have other stuff going on? And aren't these the guys that are supposed to be ground and pound, the Anderson brother type gimmick?
They were, until that doesn't get over in AEW. We got to do more crazy shit, bro.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, when there was more work and you were working house shows and you had to go international and you had to do a bunch of other stuff, and you knew you had 5 to 6, 7 days a week, or in my case, mostly 4, unless you went international, then you're away for 2 weeks at a clip. You're like, dude, I got to last this tour. I got to, even to some degree, I would have to say the Japanese talent or the Americans that go to Japan, though they're going to be there for 3 weeks, and you got to last for the entire 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. It seems like this lighter schedule of TV only wrestling is making people feel like they need to get 7 days worth of wrestling into one match.
Meanwhile, they put Britt Baker in with Nyla Rose, breaks her arm and hand again because you're fighting a green ass dude who's pretending to be a woman. And
was it a freak thing, or was it a sloppy spot?
Slop-tastic. And then last night, Stu Grayson of the Dark Order, who's really just the high flyer. He's their Ricochet now, player Uno and Dos, if you know him as Super Smash Brothers. They'll be at the 2CW reunion October 1st and September 30th. But the guy's putting on an awesome performance, and it was like a 10-man elimination, Dark Order versus the Elite or whatever, and it was a fun match to open. But Grayson does one dive and they do it, and then he goes up and does a corkscrew plancha like 2 minutes later. Bro, everybody goes to sell. 5 guys there, Gallows, everybody, right, to take it. And Grayson's not the biggest dude. They all go on the cell. Nobody catches him. He fucking falls all the way on a corkscrew gimmick to the concrete. Hip hits, head hits on the concrete, and everyone's like, oh, and he didn't really hit anybody. 5 guys standing there, not one of them fucking like took a step in to give them their back to take a little bit off of that, bro. He fucking straight boom to the ground with nothing slowing him down whatsoever.
Why? Why? I mean, why are you doing just
because Dark Order?
No, I'm just talking about 5 guys waiting to catch you and nobody I mean, that sums up AEW, and that sums up the business right there. Even when everybody's trying to gather together to catch this guy, something goes wrong. And if it's not the end of the match, or you're not, well, you did take yourself out. If you're not taking out a few guys with yourself and staying down for the finish, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, sorry, the wrong one there. Somebody put Lee Johnson almost broke his neck last night too. I missed that spot, so I got Mike Martin posted that. So we'll see, man.
Somebody's gonna get paralyzed or die in the ring, or something's gonna happen, or you have now in a COVID era.
I guess
blood exchange. You have bodily fluid exchange on a weekly basis on a show that could potentially. If you didn't have the Jaguars, I think they would have shut this thing down by now. Not the company. I'm talking about the state or the local government, right, or whatever. There would have been some step in, but I think there's good connections in Florida with his dad and businesses, and they're kind of untouchable right now.
Sure.
Plus, nobody gives a fuck about wrestling until a senator or congressman's son or daughter dies. Nobody cares about this,
Right.
That's what Ventura said, and he's right. Until it's somebody within government that's directly affected by the lack of a union, the lack of rights, the lack of pay, or even the lack of any kind of employee or independent contractor rights, nobody's going to pay attention. Doesn't matter. It's bread and circuses.
Right. Until they get something to gain off of because of somebody's death, and regulation will make them look like the fuck.
Then we'll hear from Andrew Yang again.
Then we'll get it. Left Twix says former WWE referee alleges Mark Carrano slandered and blackballed him from WWE. Marty Elias spoke with the Stink and said, I just wanted to reach out to you and talk to you in the past because in my former life, I'd see your website all the time. That was one of my go-to sites for anything I was looking for, wrestling related. But unfortunately, I stepped away from pro wrestling world a few years ago because of all the nonsense and garbage. Plus, I had other things going on in my life. He says, now I'm stepping back in the business because it's not garbage anymore, so to speak. But slowly but surely, there are some things that I wanted to get out there and let people know what's been going on and why things happened in my career. One of those things is I know that everybody knows the story about the Kiss t-shirt and how I denied wearing the Kiss t-shirt. And ultimately I was terminated because of that. That story with the Kiss t-shirt, that did happen and everything else, but there was a lot more to it. And now I'm stepping back in the game, so to speak. People are asking me that $1 million question. If I go to WWE, NXT or AEW and all that other stuff, and point blank, I haven't talked to anybody and anything, nor have I discussed anything with anybody. Right now, I'm still doing my music. I still do my TV production stuff. I'm happy. I'm content with all that stuff. But one of the things I wanted to get out there and let people know who've been asking this $1 million question, if I'm going back to WWE, no, I'm not. And there's a reason for it. And I wanted to get with you to let you know why. Elias said that in the past, when he was fired for wearing the Kiss shirt at work, which was a violation of WWE dress code. However, he reveals there was more to the story than just that. He says, I'm in a different place in my life today, and I'm standing up for myself. And I want to be honest and really transparent with everybody, especially in the wrestling world, because of the rumors of this and that. I just want to be transparent, Elias noted. With that being said, Mark Carrano hated me. Mark Carrano hated me with a passion. And the reason he hated me is because when I resigned with WWE in April of 2009, I got an extension, and he was in that meeting with John Laurinaitis. And when he and Ace asked me what I wanted to be doing in the next 5 years, I told them point blank, I'm trying to take your job, or I'm trying to take Carrano's job. I'm ambitious. I got goals. Hell, I had goals to be a main event WrestleMania with Shawn Michaels. Guess what? I did it. I'm goal-oriented like that. I know where I want to be. I know where I'm going, but Mark Carrano just had a certain disdain for me like he had for other folks as well, as we found out what he did to Mickie James, unfortunately. But when I tried to reach out to Triple H from time to time and I have the emails to back it up and everything, I got no problem forwarding them to you, because the reason why I wanted to get this out and talk to you and talk to folks is because Mark Carrano blackballed me from WWE. I was released on July 31st, 2009, and I haven't done anything with WWE since then. And the reason I haven't is because I was persona non grata, and it was all due to Mark Carrano. When I reached out to Triple H, who I've worked for and with countless times, I reached out to him in July of 2017, and I've got the email to prove it. I reached out to him because I was been hearing a lot of different things, rumors and innuendos that were going on. I sent an email to Paul, and Paul went to ask Mark Carrano, why haven't we done business with Marty Elias? And Paul being Paul Levesque, not Paul Hamin. And the reason I know this is because John Cone was there at this meeting, or when Hunter went in and asked Mark Carrano that specific question. John was privy to this. He asked Mark point blank, why haven't we done business with Marty Elias? Mark Carrano started to proceed to tell Paul the reason why they hadn't done business with me and worked with me is because of the fact that I have been sexually harassing divas. I have been doing these things with divas, harassing them, calling them, text messaging them. He said that I had heat with all the referees. He said that nobody liked me. And he said that I was selling pills to a lot of the boys. It was very, very untrue and had no validity to anything. Elias reveals how he eventually came to know Marty Elias, not Elias. How he came to know this conversation. He also revealed more of his talks with Triple H, John Cohn, as I quote, John Cohn, as I mentioned, was privy to that meeting. So John Cohn, in turn, called Chad Patton, who called me and let me know what was said and what happened, Elias revealed. So when I found that out, I sent Paul an email asking him, what's the deal? I said, this is not true, because if these things were true and they had any validity to them, then that would have killed my career with Glow and television and music. All these accusations they were making weren't true. I did reach out to Paul and his assistants from time to time to ask, at least to talk to Paul, to get my 5 minutes to clear my name, because I don't care if I ever go back to WWE or pro wrestling. I've made my mark. I've done great things in this business. The folks who are doing it today, they're trying to achieve what I have achieved. I've already done that. But my thing is, as a human being and who I am, I just want my name to be cleared, because back in 2017, when the accusations were made and I sent an email to Paul, that was one of the things I mentioned to him. I said, that's not true. These statements and these accusations that are very slanderous and can really have an impact on my career, be it television, music, or pro wrestling. And unfortunately, Paul never got back to me. Nobody ever got back to me. A couple of times his assistants would send me correspondence saying, oh yeah, Paul would love to talk to you. Let's connect. But nothing ever came of it. Boom. Everything we've said on Russo and HMG ever, but especially in the past 2 weeks, attest the backstabbing, the front-facing excuses or reasons, and then the door closes and it's Cohn and fucking via Chad Patton, and the real workers come out and cut this guy's throat based on their own stooges like Cockroach Carano, who I've seen ruin careers from that level to the lowest indie guys. For what psychopathic reason to keep their own job, bro? Why has nobody kicked the fuck out of this guy, man?
So what's the KISS shirt? Was it just a KISS band shirt, or
in 2009, after and it was even before that, it was like 2006, 2007, like when everyone's wearing Affliction and fucking Nike Shocks and being like the cool kids club, and then Benoit shit happens. It was right around that time, like there was a dress code switch and everybody starts showing up to shows in suits or
no, I was there during the dress code. I'm just talking about like what's the it's what was written on the shirt, or just was it a t-shirt?
He wore a KISS t-shirt, and that's enough to be like, he's not going on dress code, and how dare that motherfucker go against what the mandate was. And I don't know, to him obviously it's a famous story. I don't remember it, really recall it, but it was the bullshit excuse for Carano to cut his throat after all the other bullshit, because Carano, the Marty Elias tells what in his mind what it was. He sat down with those guys, said what a man would say is, I want your job. And the reality is Carano should be thinking, I want to move up to executive vice president, and Marty Elias can take my gig and as a talent handler and do that. But instead, Carano, you're going to take my job? Fuck you. I'm going to fucking cut your throat. And that becomes more important. And a KISS t-shirt is what does it.
I remember sitting in the meeting about the dress code thing, and they kept saying the NFL players, the Major League Baseball, the NBA players, we need to look like them and this and that. And Jericho piped up and said, why don't you pay us like them then?
Mm-hmm.
So I give Jericho credit for that.
But, you know, here's shout out to Elias, even fucking saying, I did this. Here's my stooge who stooged to him, who stooges back to me. I get word
That's
back.
Exhausting, man.
I get word back and they go silent. See how this game's played, you guys? I mean, I can talk out the game moves and the hypotheticals of what they're doing across. This is verbatim of how it goes. And that's on a referee who's no draw whatsoever. They will spend their time doing this type of fucking shit to ruin a guy, mess with his head, get him fired, and then word gets back that he was sexually harassing, that he sold pills, and maybe he didn't. I don't give a shit, but like, let's say he didn't. That's how they're trying to ruin you even afterwards. That's what they spend their time on, instead of creating the best show possible for their fans, making money for USA and Fox and the Saudi Masters, who are going to have an all-women's tournament, which is a fucking rib unto itself, while they are the most misogynistic and anti-feminist country on the planet.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing like somebody talked about Canada Spaceman talking about they'll call you and you call them back. It's the Carano thing. Glenn told me Carano wants to talk to you. I give him a call, leave the voicemail. Then Carano tells Glenn again to tell me to call him again instead of just there. Multiply that times 1,000, and then you wonder why they're sinking creatively.
And Mike Martin asks, and this is all the little fantasy of would you kick somebody's ass at work or that's a piece of shit, but we got people getting DUIs and fucking everything else and getting pushes. If in this mental breakdown and torture of Silent Heat and the Stooge Corps and how they operate, what if somebody, let's say hypothetically he was there and somebody grabbed him by the fucking throat and just started rifling right hands into his face until he's bloody and knocked out, and you're either going to be fired there on the spot and sued, or people are going to be like, that's been a long time coming, and now you're the fucking locker room hero and the push and all that. Like, would bad behavior like that, breaking their bubble and their game of fucking psychopathic fucking what do you call the puppets, fucking marionette that they do, you know what I mean, on people's minds? Does it take just literally beating a piece of shit stooge within an inch of his life to end this and get it over?
I'm going with your fear over respect solution.
Smash a motherfucker's hand with a hammer a couple times. See if he doesn't fuck with you again. See if they's got the balls to come back and act like a little cockroach after you break one of his fucking fingers. And then he runs and goes, "He broke my finger." Where's the tape of it? I don't know what you're talking about. I can play the I don't know game either.
Mm-hmm.
I can play that real while your fucking fingers hanging off to the side.
Well, there could be mysterious things to happen to people that are, no pun intended, crossing cross. Because we'll see.
Yeah, man.
Well, I mean, I never knew all that stuff with Marty, and I never knew. I think I met him a couple times. I never knew that there were these accusations and all these other things going on. And you look at if Carano's the one making the accusation, I would dare say watch one episode of Total Divas to see. You can feel the dripping with insincerity and just something. We called him Cockroach Carano because he survived every single cut. And I guarantee you, if he didn't send a trash bag to Mickey James, he would still be there.
Yep. If it wasn't for Mickey,
if he didn't say anything, I should say, if he did it and nothing was said,
right.
I think they would have kept. He would be there till the end of time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely brutal. And it also exposes Triple H for why, like the Stooge report, so he can ask the question and wind people up so they can then lie to him. And does he make the call back to bring back a veteran guy who's a main eventer that he worked with? Nope. It just goes radio silent. So they want to point the fucking, this guy is
no offense. No offense. Do you think Hunter's really sitting there going, why are we not doing business with this referee?
No, but I guess if it goes through,
he looks like a baby face. That there's still some psyop shit going on, and I'm not saying Marty's falling for it, but a little bit he's falling for it because it makes him feel good. Like, I got somebody on my side. I don't want anybody on my fucking side. They're all the same. That's what he's got to do. If he's happy with music and production, and he seems like he's having a pretty fulfilling life right now, why are you even say your piece? But don't babyface. Dude, I know that guy's every bit a part of the system as anybody. He's controlled opposition to a certain extent.
That's good. Yeah. And also it's game testing him who's going to stooge back to Marty. And then Marty blows his old Stooge Corp. So now that John Cohn was fired and then brought back after these layoffs, because he is essential with booking extras and refereeing and travel and all that kind of stuff. Will they put heat on John Cohn because Marty Elias is talking real shit to the streets?
I don't know. John always seemed like a decent guy when I was there, but the company changes everybody. I'm not saying he's not or he is, but who knows? Everybody either stays and has to toe the line and be that person that they are, or you get out. And what do you say? You die a hero. You live long enough to become the villain.
Yeah. And let's get it straight. We're talking about referees here. This is the level of that they're fucking. There's a referee a draw. Is a referee selling tickets? Not even a little bit. It's their job to be the ninja and fucking support what's going on in the ring, not be the storyline. And they spend their fucking time ruining a guy's life, his mental faculties, and possibly fucking up his future by putting some stigma on him that's not true at all. And then saying, no, we never said that, but my stooge core, who I trust behind closed doors, say that you did do that. Well, we got to put heat on them. But did you say it? So, dude, welcome to professional wrestling, the best and worst business to be in. Oh, shit, Stevie, we made it. I don't know. Did we? Are we alive? Did we die? Were you in a Mandela?
I wonder if Marty Elias would be a fit for the Realm Network.
Could be. I mean, if he's got TV and production skills, absolutely is in the realm of being able to produce his own stuff, I'm sure.
Might be an interesting conversation.
He might want his own Kiss show.
Well, Vince wants outside of wrestling and music. If he can play music or have him and Jim Johnston talking about me, that'd be interesting.
Beautiful people are huge Kiss fans.
But I'm saying if he and Jim Johnston can actually like play and jam and talk about stuff in the production process, whatever it is, it's not about being a fan. I think from just Jim Johnston would be interesting too.
Absolutely, man. No doubt about it. As we expand the music end, the comedy end, we want to use wrestling minds who are workers, who are more interested in things outside of wrestling to not have to talk about it, to get them empowered and impassioned about topics that actually matter. But you matter, Stevie, to me, big time, buddy. I appreciate all your time for these Friday locker rooms. I wish you the best of luck in Saudi Arabia with the Iranian flag in the women's tournament. I think you're going to do great things there. There's no stopping us now.
Oh, I can't wait. That way, October 8th.
Yeah. October 21st, I think.
Oh, I wish it was August 8th.
The October surprise.
Oh, yeah, that's the October. Yeah, that's an October surprise right there.
Oh, shit.
Hope you got a cargo plane for the way back.
Yeah, right.
One of those T-130s. Oh, good Lord.
Lex keeps asking about Conspiracy Horseman. We are hoping to have that on Realm as well as we get everything else lined up and want to be a part of the Truth Watcher stuff. So you'll be able to catch us over there. And we have a David Icke interview in the can for the launch once everything is ready to go. So though whether it's featured or maybe special times to use it, so we're not just constantly hammering away looking for stuff, but there's so much going on. We will get back to it. All in due time. So appreciate you. Yeah, Saudi Richards. I like that, Mike Martin. I think that's a good.
Nice.
I think that's a good new
big Saudi cool.
big Saudi heat. Yeah, man. So you will be in Ohio this weekend?
No, that was last weekend. I'll be in New Orleans for Wildcat Sports. I'll be wrestling. I will actually be in the ring. Yes. Hopefully my back holds up today. And then, I'll be back as soon as possible, hopefully, and be creating stuff. We just got the adjustable dumbbells. We got the Fight Master thing. We rearranged the whole gym. So there'll be a home gym tour probably coming as early as Sunday. And also I may talk about the diet on my YouTube channel and what I did to drop the 16 pounds so far. I'm not saying I'll stay there, but I'm definitely leaning back out to the point where I was at. And it's not, for me, it's easy because it simplifies. I know my diet is only these limited things, and I've taken out the other stuff and haven't had a crash or anything like that. It's been pretty good.
Big J wants to know if you're ever coming to Houston, Texas. Stevie, I say get us booked at SWE. That looks like a good time. You want to see us, that's the best way to do it. Get a hold of your local indies. I know SWE is doing big things down there. And bringing in a lot of top talent. Stevie and I'd be happy to entertain any offers as long as they meet it. Frank's asking, will you be at Titan Championship soon, Stevie, in Jersey? Frank, I don't think there's going to be a Titan Championship anymore. We had
the one with Deanna Purrazzo.
No, that's New Breed. That might not happen either. Titan is where I was working with Blaze in Jersey, but we got the big locker room speech beforehand that the promoters, baby mama, wife, I'm not sure, is moving to North Carolina. But don't worry, you guys. There's going to be Titan, New Jersey, and I'm going to be up here for 6 months. We're going to keep running, and then there's going to be, don't think I'm not going to be running Titan, North Carolina, and bringing you guys down there. I heard this exact same speech from Chris Envy in Dynasty, and 2 weeks later, Dynasty is closed. This is just Carney Promoter 101, bro. I'm glad to get those shots and work for Titan and whatnot, but and expand to be able to perform in front of you guys. But welcome to what this shit really is. Forget about WWE politics and throat cutting. On the indie, it's these fucking promises of like, and then there's going to be Titan, Jersey, and North. We're expanding, and everybody, all the local boys in the locker room, yeah, bro. And me and Sideburns look at each other and go, it was fun working here while it lasted and getting fucking shorted on pay. So that's really what it comes down to. We love performing for you guys and your families and having a good time. But what we deal with pre-show, post-show, the drives, the lies, the bold-faced lies, the not getting back to you, that silence that speaks volumes about the question.
But that's your fault in the end.
Yeah, right.
It's your fault. Someone asked me about the tech channel, like if we talked about earlier in the beginning of the show. I'm probably just going to put at an interval of a couple of weeks or once a month tech stuff like the podcasting setup and other things to kind of still go in line with health, wellness, and fitness and helping people be productive. I think that'll be a good thing to do. So yeah, I think it'll just stay on one channel. A lot of people said I should probably do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's anything salacious. It shows that you're a Renaissance man in great shape at an age where most people give up, you know what I mean, fully, as well as keeping your mind sharp and being on the cutting edge of technology. There's no reason why you can't be all of those things and have to separate.
Usually about an hour and 35 into this show when we read headlines, I'm about to give up. Pretty close. But yeah, that's all I got going on. And then obviously I got the Retromania wrestling game. I'm supporting that. I got the arcade cabinet out there. We may be getting an Act Games Legends pinball machine. Actually, that's a video I may put up today because I went to my friend Steve's, who has an amazing basement with they had like one of those basement bars. Mm-hmm. He turned it into his desk for his broadcast show and his retro gaming show. He has pinball machines, arcade machines. If he says Google, turn on the lights, everything turns on and turns off in one deal. But we did like a 40-minute video of my first impressions on these two digital pinball machines. So I might put that up on my channel as well, because I think that's a fun little thing to show. And obviously I want the company to send me a free pinball machine.
For sure.
Let's not fucking twist this the wrong way.
It's all right. You're highlighting their product and you took all the bumps to fucking earn all that shit, man. There's no doubt about it. Subscribe to everything he's got going on. Get great clothing from 32 Degrees. Get great coffee from thebrosters.com. Make sure your meals are healthy. Using Zordos olive oil, ultra premium grade olive oils. And go to our Pro Wrestling Tees stores. I don't know if Stevie signed up yet, but GGP and I had logged in the back end, and you can now get shoot promos at prowrestlingtees.com/Ben Hamin /Greek God Pop Don, or you can go to cameo.com/Stevie Richards /Ben Hamin if you want to use it there as well. Appreciate you guys ordering promos or doing the DM chats. Want to say shout out to Scott Ward, who actually just send me, a nice little PayPal just to say, hey, man, I appreciate everything you guys got going on. Very cool of him to do that above and beyond. And we just have so many great diehard loyal listeners and fans. You guys are here now. We were up at 70 strong. Ben Hamin channel, twitch.tv/Hamin Media for the watch alongs, SmackDown watch along. I'll be there doing that Friday night before we go back on the road this weekend. And yeah, man, russosbrand.com. You guys know where the real talk is, whether it's HMG or there. You're going to get the perspective and inside scoop that the Friday locker room. Appreciate you, Stevie.
Appreciate you too. Hey, show us hate by sending money. That's a real way to show us how to.
Yeah, you better not us up. Well, y'all infidels, you know where it is. It's the Friday Veteran Locker Room, HMG. Y'all.